Hello and welcome to Contact Sport. I'm Paul Kennedy. Today we're looking at Australian rules umpiring, and in a moment I'll be joined by two special guests. With so much focus on the rules and decisions, it's easy to forget there are dedicated professionals who, just like players and coaches, are striving for excellence. Contact Sport was a fly on the wall at umpire training this week.
Got the leg speed, might need it in the end. It's a goal.
That is a super... Oh, it's not a goal. Goal umpire says no goal.
Over the line.
But it's a super play.
What's happened here?
They don't know.
Let's have a look.
Oh, that's a disgrace.
That's a goal.
That is a disgrace.
That's a goal. He's in perfect position, the goal umpire, and he stuffed it up.
That is unforgivable. That is. He should never go umpire again.
And we have a look at a quick kick here. Now, the North players are saying touched or hit the post. And...
Tony will take the repeat group out under the freeway. Is there anyone interested in an easy 30 minutes? Yep. No? Yep. Okay, so Jack will take the easy 30 minutes. You might actually just go out for 15 and turn around and come back the whole way. And then the Latour group can meet in the gymnasium to do the fartlek on the bike. He's actually a horse trainer.
Can't get it.
And they were the umpires running off for their Wednesday night session. I'm joined by leading AFL umpires now, boundary umpire Ian Burrows and goal umpire Luke Walker. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
It would be good to get some insight for today's show and just why, first of all, you became umpires. Ian, we'll start with you. What brought you to being a boundary umpire?
Well, I played lots of junior footy, obviously, when I was younger. Played through to like the end of juniors, under 16s, and was still pretty keen to stay involved, but I wasn't necessarily that keen to keep playing. So a good way, I was always pretty fit as a youngster, so I thought a good way to stay involved was to take up the boundary umpiring.
And it was your running ability that saw you go on and become an AFL umpire?
Yeah, well, I was always a pretty good runner, nothing terribly special, but loved getting out and having a run. So boundary umpiring, of course, there's plenty of running up and down the line, and I thought that might suit sort of my skills. We'll
talk about the fitness and your fitness benchmarks in a few moments. But Luke, what brought you to goal umpiring? At what point do you say to yourself, I want to be a goal umpire?
Well, back when I was going to school, one of my mates was actually a boundary umpire at the local association, and he asked me if I wanted to come along, and I thought boundary umpiring probably isn't quite for me. I'm not a great runner. So he suggested I do the goals, and I did say to him, I said, why would I want to do that? And he said, you can do 2 games in one day, so you get paid double. So as a 15, 16-year-old, I thought that sounds okay, so I'll give that a go.
And you stayed with it despite your busy life, because you've got a full-time job, obviously, but you're also a district cricketer. Were there decisions along the way for you to either give it up or stay with it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's both take up a lot of time. Lucky enough that obviously the 2 seasons are split apart to some degree, but there are times when I do have to make decisions about whether it's going to be cricket or umpiring, especially towards the end of the cricket season and the start of the footy season. So the AFL try to help me out and encourage me to keep playing cricket, and try to help me out with appointments for the start of the season as much as possible.
And Ian, what about the balance for you? Because you're a journalist at the ABC as well, so it's a busy life to be able to fit that in.
Yeah.
Of course, the players have the luxury these days of being full-time professionals.
Yeah, you're right. All of us, all the field boundary and goal umpires in the AFL all have full-time jobs. So yeah, it can be quite difficult balancing all your training plus your commitments on game day, your compulsory training sessions, meeting all the fitness requirements, etc. So, but the AFL is pretty good. Like, they have people at the AFL dedicated to sort of helping work-life balance and things like that. And they'll always, try and accommodate where they can to make sure you've got the right balance.
Yeah, no doubt one of those people is Jeff Geishan, and I spoke to him on Wednesday night as part of our visit to the umpires training. Let's hear now from Jeff Geishan about the task of getting so many umpires out to those games during the week.
There is a lot of pressure goes with that. I mean, we have 8 rounds a week, or 8 games a week. We're a little bit different to the clubs, obviously. They have one team to look after and maybe a reserves team, but we have 8 teams of umpires that go out every week to perform. And Across Australia, we put out 188 people. That's field umpires, boundary umpires, goal umpires, interchange stewards, timekeepers, ball stewards, all their observers and coaches that we expect a level of performance from. And I guess when you've got 188 people going out there, there's always the opportunity or potential for one or two of those to maybe have an off day, maybe make a few mistakes. And when that happens, obviously the pressure comes on us. You know, you would have seen firsthand tonight the level of sort of professionalism that the coaches go about their business with, the level of professionalism that the fitness staff go about their business with, and then the meetings they have regarding teamwork and how they're going to go about it on the day. So, some people might say it's an overkill, but no, we think the game demands the utmost professional performance from our people, and we try to deliver on that every week. And yes, we're going to make mistakes. I think there's a perception out there of 100% accuracy 100% of the time, but I can tell you, after 10 or 11 years in this role, that's never going to happen. It hasn't happened before, and it probably won't ever happen in the future. So we've got to understand mistakes will be made. We've just got to try and make sure we minimise those and be as consistent as we possibly can be. And if we do make mistakes, we need to articulate that and put that out there, because we don't want people thinking that we've changed interpretation or changed the way we do things.
Jeff Geeshan there, and much has been made of those mistakes from last week. But I want to talk about fitness now and just how far umpiring's come. Luke, we'll look at some vision from the 1970s now just to show us what a traditional goal umpire looks like. But you've got a lot of fitness requirements these days. Can you tell us a little bit about your training?
Yeah, definitely. Pre-season, we've got to pass a 5-kilometre benchmark time, which is approximately 24 minutes. Throughout the season, our training's more aimed at speed and agility. Yep. We get obviously a lot of quick snaps out of packs, and we require some short, sharp movements. So sort of trigger running from a standing start is the sort of things that we practice throughout the season.
And you have benchmarks as far as body fat goes.
Yeah, we have skid fold testing, happens 5 or 6 times a year, so we've got to be under a certain requirement.
Do you think that's an image thing or is that a performance thing?
I think it's both. I think the AFL is obviously conscious of the image of having fit people out there officiating the games. And obviously, from a fitness point of view, it keeps you in check throughout the season. Yeah,
and Ian, of course, you do professional running as well. Boundary umpires are some of the best runners going around. What's your training consist of?
Yeah, well, there's a big variation in the guys, but we're mostly pretty good runners. There's some guys who are more focused on the short, sharp, sort of really top level sprinters, and other guys who, are doing 10Ks around 30 minutes, which is sort of bordering on national level. Running in a game, of course, we're doing 15Ks and up per game. Yeah. So, it's pretty high fitness demands, and we're training most days cardio and speed work.
All right, well, let's look at the other pressures.